Good morning, guys. Today we're going to do something a little bit differently. Today you are going to be watching the lesson, and I'm going to be circulating around the room and guiding you and helping you along the way. So, what exactly are we doing today? Today we are going to be answering a very big question. The question is, who am I? Now, you're going to be asking this question about yourself, not about me. So, last art class, we began this exploration of who we are by contemplating or thinking about the idea of a self-portrait. And we came up with a definition for the word self-portrait. A self-portrait is a picture an artist creates of themselves. Well, today you are going to be creating a picture of yourself. Now, last art class, we played around with the idea of placement of our facial features, our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. We talked a lot about proportion. And we also used the mirror to take a look at our reflection, or the throwing back of our physical appearance. So I want you to just think about what that means when you look at your reflection. I'm going to get a mirror. So when I look at my reflection in the mirror, I see an image of myself in that mirror. But when I look at that image, that is not actually me. It is just an image of me. And how do I know that? I want you to try something for just a moment. I want you to pause the video. I want you to go pick up a mirror from the art store. I want you to bring it back to your seat. And I want you just to take a few moments and gaze into your own eyes. I want you to place the mirror about an arm's length away from where you are sitting. And I want you to sit very still. And I want you to just gaze into your own eyes for just a moment. And I want you to think about how you know that that is just a reflection of you and not actually you. See you in a minute. Okay, now that you have your mirror in front of you, I want you to do a little exercise. I want you to take just a minute. Place that mirror about an arm's length away from yourself. And I want you to just connect with your reflection. Just gaze into your own eyes and just connect with your reflection. I want you to get used to just looking at your reflection. I know that a lot of us look at our reflections all the time, but how often do you actually take a minute and just really gaze into your own eyes? So just allow yourself to get comfortable with looking at yourself in the mirror. I know this feels a little weird when we first start doing it, but don't worry, everyone's doing it. So just relax and gaze into your eyes for just a moment. All right. Now that you've gotten comfortable with looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to contemplate. I want you to think about something for just a minute. I want you to think about your reflection. Your reflection is simply your physical appearance being thrown back at you. So what you see in the mirror is just an image of you. It is not really you. I want you to do something kind of silly for a minute. I want you just to make a face in the mirror. And as you make that face, I want you to Go ahead and giggle, because I know it's funny. But as you make that face, I want you to think about, if you don't like what you see in that mirror, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go into the mirror and are you going to try to change what you see in the mirror by actually going into the mirror? Well, that's not going to work very well. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go back to yourself and change yourself so that the image that is being thrown back at you is what changes. So if you don't like what you see about yourself, this is a perfect illustration to remind yourself that you have to go back into yourself. You have to change yourself if you don't like what you're seeing. So I want you to go ahead and just take a minute and fix your hair, fix your expression. Make any changes to yourself that you would like to see in that reflection. And after you like what you see in that reflection, I want you to pause the video and I want you to head back over to the art store and I want you to pick up a final copy paper and a bald-headed man. You're gonna need your bald-headed man and a final copy paper so that you can map out your final project for the day. So head on over to that art store and come back to your seat and be ready to draw. All right, now that we are back from the art store with our final copy paper and our bald-headed man, I want you to go ahead and grab a pencil. You're gonna use that pencil and you are going to write your name at the top of your page and your table number, put a nice little circle around it, and then flip your paper over. All right, we're gonna place that bald-headed man right in the center of our page, and you're just gonna hold him down and trace. This is going to be the egg shape that represents the shape of our head. If you put one hand on top of your head and one hand underneath your chin, this is the shape that you just drew on your paper. That is the shape of the bald-headed man. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to get rid of this like floating head that's just in the center of our page. So we're going to draw a neck so that we have a place to place our head. Now, a lot of times when my friends are drawing necks, they draw these itty bitty skinny little necks. And you got to think about the fact that if your neck was that skinny, your head would just snap it right in half. So make that neck way thicker than you initially think it should be, because your neck literally goes all the way up to your ears. And then I want you to just visualize in your mind, access a picture of a hanger that hangs in your closet. What does that hanger look like? Does it look like the letter M? No way, Jose. It kind of curves down and around. So we're going to make that exact same curve by curving down to the corner of our paper. So we're going to go from here to the corner, from here to the corner. Watch how I do this. I go down the neck and over to the corner. I go down the neck and over to the corner. Do you see how this kind of looks like a hanger? Awesome. Now we sort of have like a mannequin shape on our paper. We are not going to do a traditional self-portrait. I know that last art class I had you spending some time doing all of the features that go on the face, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. But for this project, we're going to let go of those facial features and we are going to focus on who we are on the inside. I want you to think about the fact that people can see who you are based on your physical appearance. They can tell you might have blonde hair, you might have brown hair, you might have green eyes, you might have blue eyes, you might have brown eyes. But how much can they really tell about who you are on the inside just by looking at you? The only way for someone to actually get to know you and who you really are is by getting to know you, by hanging out with you. And the more you know yourself, the more the people around you can begin to know who you are. So we're going to use this project as a way to sort of get to know ourselves a little bit better. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the Google Classroom, and I want you to click on the link that says 200 positive personality traits. And I want you to go through that list of 200 traits. That is a lot of traits. But I want you to go through that list, and I want you to pick about, I don't know, let's say 10 words that you feel represent who you are. These are words that represent who you are in a way that people can't see you with their physical eyes. These are things about you that someone would have to get to know you before they could actually see these different personality aspects within you. So take a minute, pause the video, go to the Google Classroom, click on the link, and I want you to go through those 200 words, and I want you to pick about 10 words. And I want you to write those words along the outside edge of your paper. So go ahead, pause the video, look at those words, write them along the edge of your paper. All right. Now that you have your 10 words written around your self-portrait, we are going to do something kind of weird. One of the things that I found that my students struggle with the most when we do a self-portrait is the hair. And I know that hair can be very, very challenging. One of the things that my friends really like to do when we draw a self-portrait is they like to put the hair up here. If you place your head or your hand on top of your head right here, this is not where your hair starts, unless you have a receding hairline and you are a middle-aged man, which none of you are. So your hair does not start up here. So you are not going to start by coloring hair up here. You are going to come down a couple of centimeters, maybe an inch or two from the top of the head, and that is going to be where you start to draw your hair. And you are going to draw something called a silhouette. Now that is a crazy word, and it's spelled even crazier. So let me get my definition of silhouette out here. Silhouette, see how crazy that's spelled? S-I-L-H-O-U-E-T-T-E. That is a crazy spelling. A silhouette is an outline and a shape of a person or an object. In this case, we're just gonna do a silhouette of your hair. And I know that sounds weird, but trust me, this is gonna look cool when you're done. So again, you're gonna pause the video, you're gonna go back to the Google Classroom, and you're gonna click on the link that has this crazy spelled word silhouette on it. On this link, you are going to find like 20, 30 different silhouettes or outlines of the shape of different hairdos. And I want you to pick the one that's closest to your hair, or you can sort of combine one or two together to make your hair, a silhouette of your hair on this sort of mannequin shape that you have in front of you. So go ahead, pause that video, check out the silhouettes, and let's get drawing. All right, guys, welcome back. Now that you have had an opportunity to check out those silhouettes, I hope you found a hairdo that was close to yours. I'm going to show you how to draw that silhouette onto your bald head. So, like I said, we're not going to draw the hair up here at the top of the head. Your hair is going to come down about an inch, inch and a half from the top of your head. So if you feel your hair and how your hair runs across your face, that's what you're going to be drawing. You're going to be drawing this line of where your hair comes across your face. Now, if you're a boy, it's not going to come all the way down to your chin, or maybe it does. I don't know. Everyone has different preferences for where they wear or how they wear their hair. So just really take a minute to notice the shape of your hair. Don't get so caught up on how good your hair looks today. I want you just to look at the shape of your hair. So if I'm looking at the shape of my hair, I can see if I were going to draw this line, that it's really just a little bit of a curve right here, and then it comes straight down. So if I'm going to draw that, it's going to be a curve, and then it's going to come straight down. And then it's pretty close to my head up here, and then it kind of comes down. Okay, all the way down. Now over here, it's a little bit different because I have my hair kind of coming over down to my ear, and then this part comes over, and it kind of goes behind my neck on this side, and I can see a little bit of my ear right there. Okay. Now that I have the outlined shape of my hair, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to fill that shape in, and I'm going to fill it in black. Even if you don't have black hair, you're going to fill it in black, because the idea of a silhouette is that it is filled in dark. So you are going to take this outline, and you may use a Sharpie, or if you have a lot of hair like I do, you can use one of the Mr. Sketch markers. If I'm going to use the Mr. Sketch marker, I'm going to snap the cap on the back, and I want to remind you once again that the markers are chiseled. So what that means is the marker is at an angle. If you use just the tip of the marker, it is going to make a skinny line. If you use the side of the marker, it is going to make a fat line. So here is the fat line. Here is the skinny line. So you are going to use the side of the marker to go ahead and fill in the hair. Ta-da! Now you have a beautiful portrait that has just the silhouette of your hair. It has a blank face right now because we are not going to add those facial features just yet. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do inside the face next time. Great job today, guys. I can't wait to see exactly what all of your portraits look like. And if you have any questions or need any help, I will be circulating, walking around the room, and I will be available to help any of you at any point. So just raise your hand if you need any help. All right, have a great time. Good luck. See you soon.